Alright, we're gonna make a second attempt at this solo DBZ All Sagas as Piccolo. Alright. Fucking stupid now. Alright. So I guess I'll talk it through again and I'll take down the other video since it's embarrassing that I lost. But, so, to explain what's going on here, I'm using a training method, or I guess we'll talk about the map real quick. So, this map's called DBZ All Sagas. It's a StarCraft custom map that goes through basically the Dragon Ball Z sagas. It's a pretty fun map. Very challenging. This particular version is extremely difficult. And this character in particular is very difficult and very high skill. And fucking tedious and annoying. I don't think I mentioned that part. I should probably lower this so I can be heard a little better. Sound. I guess we'll just turn it all off. Fuck it. Okay. Okay, we're getting situated. I do apologize. There's a lot to do early on in this. You don't have to be. This is a heal pad down here. You don't have to be in that, but it just makes it so I can do other stuff a little easier. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to gather all of our fucking Namics up, which we'll see why a little later, and we're going to bring them to the beginning of the second. I forgot to mention this before, you also control Nail. Nail can't leave, however. You fucking bitches, if you try and leave, and then he teleports back. Anytime you leave outside of Guru, you get teleported back. So that's why we have to wait till, we're going to have to wait after that timer until the guys in that get to the very, very end. So Piccolo is a particularly strong character because you can utilize this method more efficiently than probably any other character in the game. So, to explain the method, there's a couple other videos on it. This is called the Goten trick. So you go into intermediate training, you get a Super Saiyan Goten, you take him, you aggro him to this box right here, indicated by these two little like terrain liver spots, for lack of a better way to describe that, and then you walk to where that Namek is. But since I have this Namek I can bring into here, Piccolo doesn't have to walk back and forth. So it's faster for Piccolo, solely because he doesn't have to keep walking back and forth and wasting his time. Okay. Never unleash a Goku. You will regret it 9 times out of 10. Alright. Make sure you always get your attack upgrades first so you just start killing these things quicker. I don't think I hotkeyed these. 7. So I have like 7 freaking hotkeys right now for all my different goddamn training methods. Piccolo goes through like 5 different transformations, which are all like different units, which is like fucking super annoying. So this Ghost eventually turns into a Hydra, and that's your static form. So you go from having Ghost upgrades to Hydra upgrades to Marine upgrades, and it's not even a normal Ghost, it's a Carapace Ghost. To a Corsair slash Guardian are your last 2 forms, which are fucking stupid annoying units. It's hugely, hugely tedious. So as we're doing this, we're going to keep getting our upgrades up. More importantly, that's not even going to be relevant this game. I'm not gonna play this to where I utilize the Corsair. There's no point. How long has this got left on it? Cool. So you want to make sure you're getting these as fast as possible. So like once I have a few levels in my Carapace and this hits me twice, or I have enough armor levels, I can kind of just stand here, kill it closely, and get more spawns. Important thing to know about like training methods: Firebat and Zealots, their damage is half done twice. So this says it does 24 damage, which means each attack is actually 12 damage twice. So me having 9 armor means that it blocks like a huge majority of the damage. So each armor value is technically two armor levels there. So last time I think I discovered where I fucked up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and take the high ground, so the tank and the goon who are going to attack me are fighting uphill. In StarCraft, I think it's a 20% miss chance when you're fighting uphill. Yeah, so there's like a 20% miss chance when you're fighting uphill, which is effectively like 20% more HP. So it's really nice to have that fucking advantage. Air can't have that disadvantage, so my first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and target down both air units. And it looks like about every 5 or 8 seconds, the units get re-aggroed in the saga. So I'm going to have to pull my Namics while doing that, while monitoring my HP. So it's going to be very, very micro-intensive. This map is extremely micro-intensive, particularly when you're playing Piccolo early on. And we're going to see that micro-intensive come into play with once that timer hits 0, I'm going to have to pick off a fucking Defiler. So the Defiler's actions, what he does is he's going to like walk over to here, like towards my Namics, and then he's going to try and plague him just to be like a dick. So you got to catch him when he's going for that plague and surround him and then kill him. Just in good habit, I'll do this. So every fucking level, I gotta do like 2 things here. It's a huge pain in the ass. When you're doing that Namek thing, I'll usually, like, if I'm in a thing with multiple players, I'll usually steal them accidentally, not on purpose. Some people get a little mad about that. So you'll try and have like the freshest fire bat you can get when you go and do that micro, because it's gonna take you probably like 10 or 15 seconds to maybe catch the Gildo. So notice, like, we're staying as close to this beacon as we can. We're not taking a shit ton of damage. I should be able to get another. I should be able to get one more here in the interim. Oh, one thing I didn't point out before. This thing has that countdown. If that hits 0, he usually dies. If you heal with this, that countdown starts. Yeah, that countdown's gonna start, and then they'll die. So you want to avoid healing your fucking Namek. Okay, I gotta go. Oh shit, I missed it? No, I got it. Ooh, that was rough. And one of the things that sucks is if you really screw that up, I would have killed my fire bat in the wrong spot, so I wouldn't have gotten the power bonus. So killing Gilda, I think, is like, I'm not sure exactly. I think it's like a couple. I think it's like 1,000 experience. So it's really nice to get that pick off. Pretty big, pretty important. So we're gonna let these guys run through. I kind of discussed in the other video a little bit, but I'll try and elaborate. So one of the problems that you're going to experience is playing Piccolo in this is that you functionally get half damage versus like everything here. The only thing that a ghost does full damage against is light types, which is a Mutalisk. Everything else I do not get full damage against. So the Wraith is going to be hard to kill, and the Wraith is going to be hard to kill. I'm going to do one more, I think. And the Goon you get full damage versus the shield, but not the HP, and the tank are going to be hard to kill. So those are going to be particularly irritating. I might actually be able to fit in one more here. I'm actually doing a lot better this time. I'm much higher power level. This micro is going to be a fucking tedious. I guess we'll go. I should level up the first one I kill. One thing that sucks is because I'm going to use the heal by sending one of the Namics over to here. It's going to. The reason I'm going so early, I probably could have fit one more in. Got to 30k, which would have gotten me another level. The reason I'm going so early is because I want to make sure I get on that hill in time. There is 4 of these units. They're going to kill all this pretty fucking quickly, so I'm a little worried. Ghosts are fucking slow as shit, which is kind of annoying. So Piccolo, I can't transform into any of this. All of these are, like, it doesn't matter what your power level is, like, you're required to transform into things at a certain time. Another thing that's going to be really important is you definitely want to target the Mutalisk first, is because, one, you're going to kill the Mutalisk faster and reduce the damage you're taking, but probably the bigger point is the Mutalisk Splash is going to be able to hit this fucking Dragon Ball, which is one of the things I'm a little worried about. Seem to be doing a whole lot. Okay, let's get this going. Have to do a remote heal. Those. Oh, no. Come on. Yeah, we fucking wrecked this. fucking destroyed it. That is a little close, I guess. So we got 3 more minutes to train here, which is pretty fucking big. One thing that sucks, see our Namek, he's counting down now. He's gonna die pretty soon. So our training method's been a little gimped, but we did almost get 45,000. I think I'm gonna get some, you know, it might be worth, I guess I probably could fit in one more dude in there. Once the saga ends, you get 2 more minutes to go back and train. It's interesting to know that I was able to do this so easily. In the future, I'll probably be able to utilize that. Which means that I can do the entire first saga by myself, which is pretty cool. The last form is really, really hard for Piccolo, though. Because it does 900 damage, and you're a Hydra, I think without a range upgrade. Which definitely sucks. Now all of our fucking Nameks are dead. The Nameks can be used at one more point. If you have to do that remote heal, though, it kills all your Nameks. I call it remote heal because usually you have to run your hero to here, but once again, you can use your Nameks to run them over to here and, like, get a free heal in. So I'm going to attack over to here. I no longer need to upgrade melee. None of my other units use melee. Notice I still have to fucking do this, though. This kind of sucks. Did I not? Okay, no, that went through. I turned the volume all the way off so I can't hear all the lovely little sound effects. If you want to be cool, you can micro like this. That gets you just a few extra hits in as you're moving into the correct position. I don't really need to upgrade nail anymore. Yeah, so at 45,000 for every person in this game, you can go into the hyperbolic time chamber. The only one who has to wait a little longer is Vegeta, who goes in at 55,000. So I almost unlocked the hyperbolic time chamber. If I actually did the math, I would have known. I should have done that one more when I had the time for it. Okay, I gotta go. Actually, fuck. Am I too late for this? I might be too late. Meters are fucking quick, man. There's nothing to block him. I didn't even get to trick that. I think I'll catch him in time. So I'm actually gonna have to intercept him like right here when I come in and just solo him, which is not a big deal. I can do that pretty easily. We're gonna try and get some hyperbolic training in. You can do this pretty easily. I guess his damage is reduced. Doesn't seem that way. What would be ideal right now is like I should have probably left a little sooner, particularly since I didn't even lock in the fucking trick there. We can actually fuse with Nail now. I'm gonna run Nail right here. This is like the max range of him. You gotta run to Nail to get your fusion form. I didn't show this before, but you get your power levels. You can't just go Super Saiyan whenever. You have to, or like your equivalent of Super Saiyan, which is transforming. You have to get 16k, and it has to be Frieza form too, which is right now. So I just killed the first form of Frieza. I'm gonna walk over here. I'm gonna fuse, and then I'm gonna kill that next form. Next form's an Arbiter. You could just, like, the Arbiter has explosive damage, and I'm going to turn into a Hydralisk, so the Arbiter does, like, half damage. Man, alright, that's so fucking... Come on. Damn it! Come on. Come on. Come on. This sucks. There's, like, a way to... It does, like, so little... There we go. So now we got, like, 55k from this. Okay. So this Arbiter does like no fucking damage. So what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna try and aggro him towards the leave beacon, so I get like even more time to like do whatever I want, or more time to train a little more. Ideally, when you're fighting the next form of Frieza, the final form, you want to have USSJ. It doesn't really matter. It has to do with speed. Am I actually gonna fucking intercept this in time? Oh no! Don't run that way. Come on! Come on! Come on, you fuck! Come on. You can afford to let him take pot shots too, it doesn't matter. So we're bringing him up towards that beacon, just so I get a little more time to train. Notice how, like, it says he does a lot of damage, like 200 a hit, but he doesn't. He does like 100 to me, but I'm so much stronger now. Come on. Come on. Come on, you fuck. Nope! Alright, fuck you, you die. Alright, so what sucks here is if some idiot came in here and let this guy out, you can die just by like walking in here. But this is like really important for your training, so we're going to try and come in here. You go into here, you don't stay in here very long. You have to walk down to these 2 dots. Once again, you notice the dots are really important. Don't let yourself get too low. I probably was a little early on that one. Yeah, I could have stayed there a little longer. When in doubt, just stay less time. Once you hit yellow, you should really start running out. This is also balanced pretty nicely. Like, once you get USSJ, like, damage that you're getting. USSJ is 75k, you get, like, a certain power level. Alright, I gotta just go. Nope. Alright. So, we'll talk about this form of freiza. Generally, if you're playing with good players, a Goku does this. But the way I see it is I'd rather just let it... Oh, shit. I have my forms wrong. Okay, so this is actually a hard one, because he does full... sorry, Hydralisk is a light armor type that does explode... I think it's explosive damage. This guy does full damage and fucking hurts. So what you gotta do is you gotta sit here, wait for him to get close. If he runs past me, I just fucking lose this, though. He's gonna arc up one more time, I think. Okay, you gotta get up here. That way he gets a mischance. There's a little bit of luck. I don't think I've ever lost this unless you just sit low ground too long with him. So, I'm not even gonna look. I mean, it doesn't matter if I die here, I lose. But I'm on the uphill. If you do this straight up without having the uphill, you lose 100%. Yeah, I had 2 hits left, so it wasn't that close. I won that with just like 1 hit left before, which is pretty damn close. So, so you go from like 32 minerals in this game to having 60 minerals. Or sorry, 40 minerals. You go from 32 to 40 minerals, and that happens at exactly 75,000. I think I'm going to get 1 level in just like a second of living here. Come on. No! Ooh. It's close. It's close. I might even be able to get it here. It's going to be close. The thing is so fucking slow. I think I could get 1 more run in here. I might get the next level, that's it. I'm not gonna... Yeah, fuck it, we'll just go. I don't think... Yeah, that was only giving... I think that was only 100 on that last tick. At a certain point, this only gives you like 100. So you can't like do anything after that. This is kind of micro-intensive, I guess. So here are like the drawbacks to this. When you come at it with a ghost, you have much higher range. I think I'm at like 4 or 5 range with this Hydralisk. You're gonna attack him, run away, and attack him. If you notice, he does 900 damage. If I fuck up 3 times, I just lose. But the benefit is that I have much faster speed. So when I'm running away like this, he's eventually gonna turn back. I can kind of bait this a little better. Generally, I can keep him from even getting past here. You can get 2 hits in there. It's a little risky, particularly if there's lag. Like, if your game has lag spikes, I probably wouldn't even go for 2 hits on him. So you want to run, like, up and down because you want to have, like, the forward trajectory correct. You can sometimes even just stand here, hold position, and you'll... I'm scared. You got to catch him at, like, an upward angle. But like, you can kind of play with what his expected damage is. Or, like, because if you're at this angle, he has to, like, turn and then attack. So you can kind of run before he gets his attack, because he has to like move towards you, stop, and attack. It's a very clunky like attack for a unit. I want to be kind of careful. I can kind of play a little more aggressive, like maybe I'll use the method of getting like 2 hits in until he gets 1 attack on me, and then I'll be more careful, because 3 hits and I'm dead. It doesn't matter what my armor value is. His damage is just way too high. But the big part is you just have to keep him coming back. So, Goku does a lot more damage, and one of the problems is this is a unit that I do half damage against, so once I'm through his shield, I'm only going to do half damage against that. Templars are a light damage type, so I'm only going to get half damage, so I do a little under 300 damage, which means I'm going to do under 150 damage to this guy. So the reason that Ghost is really good, because a Ghost does full damage to that. So, if you want to, like... If you run like this, you can kind of bait him back a little more usually. If you run too far out of his thing, he turns around a little sooner. Oh shit. That was fire. I should have gotten hit there, honestly. So you always want to have like your turn radius like pre-selected, just so you can kind of get back at him a little quicker. Notice I still almost have him all the way at the front of the saga. After this, I'm not really even sure what the most effective training method is. It's probably still Goat and Trick, honestly. It's annoying because, like we've been talking about, Hydras do half damage versus light units, while Ghosts don't. So I'm going from having a Ghost to a Hydralisk. So my Hydralisk is going to do half damage to a fire bat because that's a light armor type. Yeah, I'm almost doing this too well. I'm almost pulling him back to the fucking beginning. Whoops. Yeah, so since the fire bat's like a light armor type, you're doing half damage as a Hydra, so it almost hurts you to turn to this form. Because I don't even think, if I remember correctly, I think your damage is the same. It's just you have a higher attack rate. So there's like units, like if you fight a Dragoon with a Hydralisk, you're going to do full damage. But fighting against the Dragoon's not really that effective. It's still probably better to do that stupid trick. Like you just max out Hyperbolic and then do trick. Some more. Unfortunately, as we know, all of our Namics are dead. Thankfully, you're now a Hydralisk, so running back and forth between the thing is faster. So it's still probably the fastest method. And then once you get a Marine, you can actually bug the Marine. I still have to make a different bit. I don't think I definitely can't solo this through androids. Androids are too strong. Yeah, maybe I can. Actually, yeah, maybe. Might be a chance. If I kill the tank first, if I isolate and kill, it's a tank and a Reaver that spawn the first thing. I might be able to do it then. No, because the next android forms are really strong. You have android 17, 18 that come, and they're a Vulture and a Ghost, who both do like full damage. Or the Ghost does half damage, but the Vulture does full damage. You saw how I almost lost to that full Vulture. I can't beat that. And it's not until after I kill those two that I can turn into a Marine, which can actually beat both of them. So, Piccolo is awkward because like your power scaling is dependent on point in the game. So even though I'm like stupid strong right now, it doesn't really fucking matter, which is kind of annoying. So like I'm so necessary for like so many parts of the game, but ultimately like when it comes to later sagas and certain things, I can't do everything by myself. If I was like an equivalent, like I guess like a Goku at this power level, I'd be able to do much more. Why is this taking 21 minutes in? Jesus Christ. Oh, my dude froze yellow attack. A couple more attacks, I could just kind of fight him straight up. Maybe I won't. Like, one of the things is, like, the timer stopped right now, so the longer I take to do this, the better it is for your team, because they get more time to train. I have no team, so it's just kind of taking me more time. So maybe, like, the double hit and then run, I should just kind of avoid doing. Because, it doesn't, like, while it seems to be effective in this sense, it just means I'm killing this guy quicker. Which is no real benefit. Like I'm pretty much useless in the next saga. Like I can't solo it or anything. I think a Gohan tends to be the best thing for it. The reason why I'm gonna try and avoid getting hit here and I'm not just gonna man fight is because it's gonna spawn me back over here. And if I'm at full everything, I can just like I'm just gonna one shot him here. Yeah. It'll spawn you into here. And if I'm full HP, I can just kinda go. Probably gonna stop this here. I don't think there's anything else I can really do. I just want to see what power level I can get by soloing all that real quick. Just between that and the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. I guess I'll do just a quick talk about damage types for, and this is like general information that's good on every hero, or actually in any custom map. It's very useful to know things like this. So I'm still getting 1100 per second, but that's gonna fall off eventually. It falls off after a certain amount of time, I think, or a certain power level. I'm not sure. I think it's time. It can't be power level actually. Because you can like go in there, die, and go in there, and you're not going to get to like a max power level in it, because it must only give you a certain amount of experience. Maybe for like the first minute or so you're in here. Okay, so yeah, we're down to 100 I think. We'll do a quick talk about. I think I do. Am I medium? I'm a medium type, so whatever. We'll just show the Zella. Zella does 66 damage and I have 26 armor, but I hit that 26 armor, it hits twice, so I take barely any damage. You could train like this if you're lazy. You could train on this too a little bit. It does only a little more damage, and it's probably worth a little more, but it's harder to kill. But the goat and trick's probably more efficient, but I don't want to be tricking while I'm talking. Okay, so real quick, the people who can't do this is a Goten. So we're gonna look at this armor real quick. So that has 8 armor. You see a Goten has 16 damage or whatever. I don't remember what the scaling on the upgrade is. It's probably like 4 per level or something like that. But every time Goten goes to attack a unit with a high armor value, he's going to lose that twice over. So you probably don't want to use it. I think Goten's like a Zealot next one. Should probably stop getting distracted. It's a fire bat. Oh, duh. Clearly it's a fire bat. So you have, I think it's light, medium, and heavy armor types in StarCraft. So you have an Ultralisk, like these two would be heavy armor types, or these three, Goon, Archon, whatever. Those are heavy armor types. The reason why it doesn't really matter for an Archon is because Archons in the real game tend to be primarily shield. Shield doesn't take armor type into account. So any damage does its full effect to armor minus the armor value. So let's talk about a Dragoon though. A Dragoon has an explosive damage type. So against, I think it's light and medium, and I think it has to be light and medium. Against light and medium, that damage, I believe it reduces by armor. So I would reduce it by 25, and then that would cut in half. So this would go down to 50, and then it would do 25. So each Dragoon shot should take about 25. Let's see if I'm right about that. Okay, we're gonna have to kill this fucking guy first. So it's important to know like what your unit types are. So I'm gonna discuss each like hero and like what's worth knowing about it. So this should do about 25 a hit. Did 40 a hit. So maybe I'm a little wrong on how that works, but it is roughly half the damage. So I'm not sure exactly how that but it's going to be roughly half the damage. So shorthand, just divide damage by 2, and that's how you'll figure that out. It's because I'm a medium type while he's doing explosive damage. So other units that do explosive is like a tank. Let's see, let's go through this. I think a Hydra is explosive. Like the needle spines, I'm pretty sure I'm doing explosive damage. Just full damage to him, but half damage to light armor types. So examples of light armor types which are important to know would be Ghost is light, DT is light, Ling is light. These are all light. Things that aren't light that might surprise you. Let's see. You kind of eyeball like light. I think I'm a medium, which is the only thing that's kind of weird about it. Like a Hydra's a medium armor type. Marine's definitely not a medium armor type. Like an Ultralisk is heavy, Goon's heavy, that's heavy. So let's see. So for your starting units, I guess damage types are going to be more. You can kind of eyeball what an armor type is going to be, but I think it's important to talk about damage types. So actually, I guess I don't know what this is called in this. Maybe it's piercing type. I might be getting Dota terms confused. I don't remember. I don't remember all the damage types. But the gist of it is ghosts do full damage versus light. I think it's half versus medium armor types. So Ghost versus Hydra, they're both doing half to each other. Ghost versus like an Ultralisk, a Ghost is doing 25%. So if you have like a Super Saiyan 2 Goku, it's extremely inefficient to train on like an Ultralisk or a Dragoon or this, because you're not going to be doing full damage. It would be inefficient to train on a Hydra too. You could train on a Zealot, a Ghost, any of these light armor types. You want to train on a light armor type. Zealot, you want to train on things that have less armor. Just because their damage is going in twice, it doesn't suffer any sort of reduction based off its damage. If I kill one of these, I would die, and then I could respawn and maybe kill the other, but I don't really care that much. I'd probably try and kill the tank first, because the Reaver's slower, be able to kill the city slower. Important to know for Gohan is, once again, you have very low base damage. He also has very low starting energy. So you don't really want to Goten trick with him, it wouldn't be efficient. So you want to focus with people who have less armor, who you can kill faster. Ideally, who have damage divided by 2. So the best things to train on is going to be a Firebat and a Zealot, because they have damage divided by 2, or units that have a type disadvantage. So if I'm a Zergling, right, and I'm fighting against a Goon or an Ultralisk, I probably want to do the Goon, because the Goon's going to have half damage reduction, while the Ultralisk has no damage reduction type. It's just you're going to do straight 40. So in this case, just because the damage is so much lower, it might be about even. But the idea is like that's also going to attack slower. So I'd say if I had to choose between training on a SSJ2 Gohan or a Majin Vegeta, I'd probably choose a Majin Vegeta if I'm a Zergling. Just because when I think about how their damage is gonna work. I think this is I don't actually know the Archon damage type. At that point, it doesn't really fuck them out. You just find something you kill in like 2 or 3 shots. But like when you're the weaker forms like SSJ, or you have like weird damage types and stuff, it's really important to know that. But all right, we're gonna let this game end. Well, the game's gonna end itself. All right, so we're gonna end the video. I kind of give you a guide on how to play this shitty mode. Please don't disappoint your teammates. Perfect timing.